What's the scariest thing that you did before you turned 10? For me, it wasn't a roller coaster. It wasn't a dark room. It wasn't even getting lost at the shops. It was walking through someone else's front door for the first time, alone. If that feeling sounds familiar, you're in the right place. I'm Danny, and I tell the stories about the moments we thought we've all forgotten. Let me take you back. But before I do, please hit that subscribe button, switch on all notifications so you never miss a memory. Okay, loading today's memory now. Your first sleepover. You've been counting down for 2 weeks. You've told everyone that you know. I'm sleeping at their house tonight. It probably began the same way for all of us. A casual question at school. Hey, do you want to sleep over on the weekend? And just like that, the countdown begun. Maybe you spend the next few days barely able to focus in class, drawing little countdown marks on your book. Every day that passed felt like a year. Because a sleepover wasn't just a play day. It was different. It meant you were old enough, trusted enough, ready for something real. But if I'm being honest, between the excitement, there was also this tiny knot in your stomach. You didn't want to admit it, but you knew it was there. You would ask yourself, what if I get homesick? What if their parents are strict? What if I miss my own bed? You never said it loud enough, because being invited meant you had to show up. And sometimes that was the hardest part. The night before is when it all got real. Maybe you packed your bag 3 times, maybe 4. What do you even bring to a sleepover? Your favorite pajamas, obviously, a change of clothes for the morning, and of course, the snacks. Your mum probably helped you. Don't forget your toothbrush. Be polite and listen to their parents. And your dad. Maybe he sat down right next to you on the bed, looked at you with that look. If you need me to pick you up at any time, just tell their parents. No questions asked. You nodded, but you weren't really listening. Your mind was already at their house, imagining what the night would be like. Maybe they had a trampoline. Maybe they had a PlayStation. Maybe they had snacks in the cupboard that you've never tried before. Looking back now, it's funny. The most exciting part wasn't even the sleepover yet. It was the anticipation. That feeling of standing on the edge of something new. The next day finally came. And here's the thing that nobody asks. Probably woke up earlier than you ever did for school. Your eyes opened before the sun, and for a moment, you forgot what day it was. Then it hit you. Today is the day. You lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling that mix of excitement and something else. Something that felt like being unsure. What if it wasn't fun as you imagined? What if you got there and you didn't know what to say? What if? But you got up anyway. You put on your best clothes, the ones that made you feel like you looked cool. Grabbed your bag, and either your mum dropped you off or you walked. I remember the walk, trying to act calm, like I've done this 100 times before. And then you saw their house. That's when the knot in your stomach started to tighten. Just for a second, you took a breath, walked up to the door, and you knocked. And when they opened it, everything changed. Here, their mum and dad appeared with a warm smile on their face. Come in. And you stepped inside. That first step into their house, it was always different, wasn't it? Maybe their hallway smelled different. Maybe their lounge room was bigger than yours. Maybe they had things in your family that you didn't. A newer TV, a bigger backyard, a game console you've never seen. You tried not to stare, but you definitely noticed it. How could you not? And maybe a little voice inside of you asked, why can't we have these things? It wasn't a bitter thought. It was more like a quiet wondering, like seeing a door opened to a world you didn't even know existed. But here's the thing about that feeling. It didn't make you sad. It made you curious. It planted something small inside of you. A spark that said, one day I'm gonna have things like this as well. In that moment, it didn't feel poor. It felt inspired. The next few hours were magic. Maybe you played in their backyard. Maybe you rode bikes together down their street. Maybe you showed each other your favorite toys, played a video game that you've never played before. Time moved differently that night. Hours felt like minutes. Everything felt new to you because it wasn't your house. It wasn't your domain. It wasn't your usual routine. It was an adventure. The dinner came, and dinner at a friend's house always hit different. Maybe they had food that your family didn't even buy. Maybe they sat at the table differently than you. Maybe their mum asked you questions that you didn't have the answers to, but it was good. A different type of good. And then the main event, the movie. Maybe they had a collection of VHS tapes. Maybe their dad rented something from Video Easy that night just for you. Maybe it was a Disney movie. You'd seen it 100 times before, but watching it there made it feel brand new. You sat there, snacks spread all over, the lights dimmed. And for those 2 hours, the world outside didn't exist. The movie ended, the parents went to bed, and then came the part nobody told you about. Quietness. You laid there in separate beds. Maybe it was a mattress on the floor, those blow-up ones. A couch. You felt that it was your own space, but not your room. And that made all the difference. Stared at the ceiling one more time, listening to sounds that you've never heard before. The creak of the floorboards, the humming of the fridge, the sound of their dog or cat, the sound of the fan humming in the background. And maybe, just maybe, you felt that feeling in your stomach again, that you just wanted to be at home. You didn't say it, because you didn't want to be the one that broke first. So instead, you whispered across the room about school, about life, about what you wanted to be when you grew up, about the thing that happened last week that you never told anyone, because in the dark, it was easier to be honest. That's the thing about sleepovers. The real conversations don't happen during the day. They happen late at night, when you're both in your own beds, and the truth comes out easier because you feel that there's trust. The night has passed, morning has come. Maybe you woke up to the smell of pancakes, or the sound of their parents calling you for breakfast. Maybe you woke up before anybody else, and just lay there, listening to the quiet, looking out of the curtains, watching the sun rise. And then it hit you. You did it. You stayed the whole night. You were away from home, a house that wasn't yours, in a bed that wasn't yours, and you made it. That feeling, it was quiet, but real. You felt proud of yourself. Not in a loud way, a way that sat deep in your chest. A quiet knowing that you could do hard things in life. Breakfast even tasted different that morning. Maybe it was the cereal that they had. Maybe it was the company. Maybe it was just something that you shared that you knew was real. And when it was time for your mom and dad to come and pick you up, you didn't want to leave, but you also couldn't wait to get home, to your own room, your own bed. On the way back, you were quiet. Not because you were sad, but because something changed. You did something new. You'd been scared before, but you did it anyway. And the whole world felt a little bit bigger than yesterday. Looking back now, it's strange to think how much that first sleepover meant. Not because of what we did, but because of what it represented. It was the first time that we chose to be away from everything familiar to us. The first time we trusted someone else. The first time we realized that the world is bigger than our own bedroom. That's not a scary thing. That's a beautiful thing. And for those of us who came from less, it was also the first time that we saw what else was out there. Not to feel jealous, but to dream. Because seeing a different life doesn't make yours smaller, it shows you what's possible. We didn't know it at the time. We thought we were just having a fun night. We thought we were just watching movies and eating snacks. But really, we were building something. A memory that will stay with us forever. A moment that would remind us that growing up isn't about leaving things behind. It's about carrying them with you. If this video brought back a memory that you haven't thought about in years, I post a new story every week. Stories that take you back to the moments that you've thought you've forgotten. If that sounds like something that you want more of, please consider subscribing. It helps me more than you know. I'm Danny. I don't post content, I post feelings, and I'll see you in the next memory.